jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Man.
Oh, we're gonna sing to you guys with
No,
every video.
he's gonna sing. I'm not. No one wants to hear me sing. I'm sorry.
Happy day 2, you guys,
Yeah.
of the 12 Drams of Christmas. Blue collar and scholar here. I'm Adam. This is Greg. Blue collar, scholar. Wrench, quill pen.
Blue collar is called. Yeah, I'm wearing my vest, which
Oh,
used
beautiful.
to have arms on it, but
Yeah.
that was when I was working full time. Now that I'm working half time, I remove the arms.
Yeah, these vests are beautiful. They're repurposed Harris tweed coats that have been turned into beautiful vests by my mother,
Oh.
Greg's significant other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely.
yeah, she does amazing jobs.
Yeah,
And
here I am.
looks
Oh,
pretty
I
good.
lose my glasses, but okay.
Okay,
Let's go.
so once again we have our Charlie Brown
Yeah.
Christmas twig.
And it's still early in the month, so
And-
we're not dressing it up yet.
Yeah, still haven't put any decorations on it yet.
We're gonna hang. We should hang pizza from it or something. Just to,
Well, we'll figure something out. We'll find something
Okay.
to hang from
All
this
right.
tree at some point. Anyway, happy day 2, you guys.
Mhm.
I hope you guys really enjoyed the Glen Scotia yesterday. This is December 4th, day 2. And we have a real special one for you guys tonight. It's super rare. In fact, I think there's only 120 bottles of it. So the other cool thing about most of the whiskeys that we have for the 12 Drams Christmas is that they're all pretty accessible, even the rare ones. So, and that was sort of my goal this year, was to find ones that you guys could taste, fall in love with, and then go out and get a bottle of if you wanted.
So if they're rare and they're readily accessible, how does that match?
Well, I mean, they're readily accessible to a point. Obviously, if you
it
try
must
it, if you try it and everybody falls in love with it and goes and buys it, then they're going to become harder to get. But
be. Especially with the limited.
But at
number
the
of
time,
bottles.
the shooting of this video, all of these whiskeys are pretty much available one way or another.
Yeah.
So, anyway, without further ado,
Yeah. Here we go.
this whiskey is, you'll notice the color's a bit lighter than last night's.
Looks like urine. Oh, sorry. I mean, it's lighter. You're right.
I'm gonna screw up the pronunciation, so I'm gonna let Greg say it.
Balmanic.
It is 80 Rattray, Balmanic 11-year-old, cast strength. And this is actually the Victoria Quake Strath exclusive. So
And when
there's
he says
lots.
when he says cast strength, we're talking about 53.5% ABV.
55.3.
I did say that.
No, you said
55.3.
53.5.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh. Really?
Oh, there's a typo in his notes.
There's a typo in my note.
I get to correct the scholar.
Oh,
Woo!
Hand me a dram.
He nailed the pronunciation.
Ah, yes. Well,
So anyway, so yes, there's a lot to talk about with this whiskey. There's first of all, you're wondering what the heck is 80 Rattray. Second of all, you're saying what the hell is Balmanic, because it's not a super well-known distillery. And then you're wondering what the hell is Victoria Quake Strath Edition. And so we're going to talk all about that. But first, I need a drink. So get your bottles, open her up.
And Slancheva.
Cilantro. Oh. Absolutely amazing. Light,
Wow.
super approachable. Again, another whiskey that does not drink like a cast strength
No.
whiskey at all.
For
This
those
is-
of you that are having a bit of a struggle, you can put a couple of drops, but only a couple of drops of water in it. Allows the sort of the alcohol to diffuse and gives you even a more interesting nose and taste as well.
Yeah, I'd really like to. Well, first I'll try the whiskey
Yeah.
as it is,
Yeah.
and then I like to play around with that and add a couple drops of water, and sometimes you get completely different experience, and it's really fun. And that's why I like cast strength whiskeys, is because it allows you to do that. Where if you tried to do that with some 40% whiskeys,
No.
it's gone.
It's already been diluted.
The whiskey just like falls apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, by all means, you guys experiment with just a couple drops of water. Doesn't have to be a lot. So where do we begin with this one? 80 Rattray. 80 Rattray is an independent bottler from Scotland, and they, for those of you who don't know what an independent bottler is they are a separate business aside from the distilleries that will go around to the distilleries and purchase casks, and then they will bottle it under their own label, but it's from that distillery.
Just offhand, do you know what the AD stands for?
I did, but I didn't.
Andrew
my
Doer.
notes. Oh, Doer, of
Yeah,
course.
that's right.
Yes, that's right.
And 80 Rattray has been around for 150 years.
That's right. Yeah. So
always specializing in single casks and single malts.
and I had the pleasure of going to an 80 Rattray master's class at a Victoria Whiskey Festival a few years back now. Holy crap, it was amazing. And there was, I think it was, I can't even remember how many whiskeys there was, and we had like an hour, and we went through all of them, and they were all incredible. So all these bottlings you're getting, these are all usually like sort of single casks, and usually presented at cask strength. And so oftentimes you get to experience a whiskey as the distiller intended, is what I like to say. Because a lot of distillers, this is what, like, when you taste a cask strength whiskey unadulterated from a single cask, you can really geek out on the whiskeys, and this is what the distiller was going after when they made their whiskey, did their craft. And then the accountants step in, and the distillery owners step in, and everything, and they present it at what they want to, but also to try and present a consistent product over a long period of time. And so that's 80 Rattray.
For those of you that aren't familiar with Balmenic, it's from Speyside, which is one of the most highly concentrated number of distilleries. I think there's about 53, 55 distilleries in Speyside alone. And it was licensed way back in 1824, the year after the Excise Act was proclaimed, which was 1823, of course. And this one's owned by Inverhouse, which is an interesting company that is from Thailand, and they've owned a number of distilleries, which
they do. They own Spaber and Glenlivet, Knockdhu, Balblair, and Old Putney. So they have a bit of a portfolio, if you will. I don't know if I've ever seen a industry bottling of Balmenic. It's always been independent bottlers, so I'm guessing it goes into blends for the most part. But this whiskey is amazing. I'm getting like huge vanilla notes, and
that's on the nose.
Yeah, and it's sweet, and it's super approachable for a cask strength whiskey. This is a ex-bourbon hogshead. So they take an ex-bourbon cask and they make it bigger, and they call it a hogshead.
So that would be from 200 liters to 250?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And this one, like I said at the beginning of the video, was only 120 bottles made. Or, well, I don't know how that works, because there's obviously more than 120 bottles that comes from that cask. But I'm assuming, so I said this is the Strath exclusive of the Victoria Quake. So I'm assuming they bought a share of a cask. Maybe there was some other Quake groups that bought the other parts of this cask, if you will. And it's a 2012 vintage, 11-year-old. I'm going to say just a little blurb here from our friend Adam Bradshaw from the Strath. He said, the Victoria Companions of the Quake is a local private whiskey club with strong ties to the Victoria Whiskey Festival and Highland Games. It just so happens that I'm a member of this excellent club, and I managed to persuade them to let us have a limited amount of this excellent cask pick to sell at the Strath. This is available now nowhere else on the planet, and if you like a big punchy ex-bourbon cask single malt, this is one not to miss. So thank you, Adam Bradshaw, for picking this one out for us.
Thank you, Adam.
And I'm honored to be able to present it in our 12 Drams of Christmas.
Great.
Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.